So, basically, continuing the other video, I really wanted to talk about everybody wanting to be a bad bee and don't nobody want to be a lady. Because I really feel like I'm in a generation to where we seek attention. And I'm shallow enough to know I do it. I'm real enough to be real with you. Like, I know I seek attention in certain points in time. Like, sometimes I'm cool with chilling. I'm cool with blending in. I'm cool with, just being there. Not really being seen, just blending in. Sometimes I'm cool with that. But when I want to stand out, I can stand out. And those are the times where I seek more attention. Those are the times where, I want somebody to say something to me, or I know I'm going to say something to somebody. I'm real enough to be honest about that. But me doing that don't make me a lady. Like, it's just certain things we don't even do anymore. Like, women in my generation, like, you'd rather be on social media half naked instead of learning your skills, developing your skills, doing something that's going to help you in the long term. You'd rather this temporary happiness or this temporary attention. And don't get me wrong, every generation had that. Like, all generations had that. Where you think Jezebels come from, or Jezebel, or floozies, or any other terms that they used to use instead of saying slut or hoe. Like, every generation had them, but in other generations it was just frowned upon. In mine, we glorifying it. Like, you profit off of it. You always did profit off of it, but now it's cool. Like, you used to get shunned for stuff like that. Like, you want to be a hoe? Okay, cool, be a hoe. But now it's like, I feel like generations have gotten weaker. I feel like we've gotten weaker as a people. Like, I told somebody the other day, we'll never have another Malcolm X. And if you want to think about it, did we really have one in the first place? Because we going off a book. We wasn't alive. So did we really have one in the first place? If society is basically a cycle that's repeating itself, did we ever have one? Like, you got to think about the music that we listening to. I feel like most of it is BS, but we got to realize we're going through it with time. The music we hear from other generations has already been filtered because they done already weaved and picked through the BS. Like, they done already did all that. Like, we not going to hear none of the BS songs unless we go look them up. But we're living in a time where we're going to hear everything. We're going to hear something we like, we don't like, something a hit, not a hit. So we have more to complain about. Anyway, I got completely off topic. We were talking about ladies and hoes. I feel like we got weaker as a people. Like, I understand, like, the I'm super independent movement. I can do this. I don't need you. I don't need that. And there's nothing wrong with having that mentality to a certain extent. But you gonna always need somebody. Now, it may not be financially, it may not be emotionally, it may not be mentally, but in one of those brackets, in one of those arenas, you gonna need somebody. And you being so independent, you ain't letting nobody in. And really, you being that independent, you really covering up for something else where you lacking. Not saying you can't be solid in everything you do, but 9 times out of 10 you not. Like, you work super hard because you might be a little crazy, you might be a little off, so your emotional state ain't right, but you make sure you got money in your pocket, you make sure all your bills paid, but you depressed, or you just think crazy thoughts, you do dumb stuff, but you make sure outside looking in you look good. You got a nice car, you got a nice house, you got this, you got that, but you really messed up. So some people all around the board messed up. They ain't got nothing. They stay with their people. They ain't got no car. Anytime they go somewhere, everybody else paying their way. Some people all around the board are messed up. But I really feel like we have failed ourselves and we're continuing to fail ourselves. We're not growing. Like, I feel like if anything, we're getting softer. The women are getting harder and the men are getting softer. And the men who are worth something or have some value or are somewhat willing to do something, they gone. Or they getting put in positions to where they getting tricked off the streets. So when it happens like that, or when it comes to stuff like that, you gotta realize it's systematic. Like, the system was never built for us. The system wasn't built for us to succeed. It was built for us to fail. And we gotta stop being so blind and realize that, like, the system wasn't for us, never was. So, all in all, we just gotta become unified. We honestly need to find something to stand for and to stick to it. Don't let nothing else get to you. Like, people can't even come on one accord to do nothing. Like, we can't do nothing at all. Anyway, I mean, I got on so many topics. I jumped completely off topic. I can't even stay on damn topic. Hypocrite.